Welcome to this masterclass of self-love. So, self-love. I feel like self-love is talked about a lot, and not many people are truly living that. So what does it truly mean to live self-love? We may have glimpses of what does it feel to love ourselves, what does it feel to be in that state of this full acceptance and safety. But do we truly live it? And what would that take? What would that mean? What kind of responsibility is it to truly love ourselves? And maybe if there are moments that we don't love ourselves, do we really love ourselves by accepting that we don't love ourselves? Does it make sense? So today we are going to explore these topics a little bit deeper. So this is not a lecture, this is a masterclass. So this is kind of a interactive experience. So that is why first I would like us to close our eyes and start by taking a couple of deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And allow yourself to really feel yourself in this moment with whatever is happening. Whether you're nervous, your mind is chattering, whether you're expecting something from this class, whether you're annoyed by something, can you really be in the state of acceptance, not constantly trying to move through something or change yourself, but accept whatever is happening, it's okay. And just breathe with that. Breathe with that. Sometimes a couple of deep breaths can make a tremendous difference. They can literally change everything. And you know why? Because when we breathe, we bring our presence. And our presence is what shifts everything. And allow yourself in this moment to just be present with whatever is. And we are inviting love. Because when you really feel into it, love just is. There is no conditions. There is no I love myself, I love others. I am love. I am love. And invite that love that you know, that is, to be present throughout this class. Okay. And when I feel into love, love is very quiet. There are no fireworks with love. Love just is profound and sacred state of being. It's nourishment, it's safety, but it's so much more than that. And while we're exploring self-love, we're exploring love as it is. And I know that my teacher, he was sharing on one of his lectures how how scientists are trying to prove love. They're trying to see what are the evidence for love. And they're actually doing that by observing twins. And especially, of course, twins are usually prematurely born, and how their connection is what is helping them grow, is helping them if one of those twins has life is maybe jeopardized, that love from his brother or sister is keeping them alive. So this is how love is strong. So what I want to talk about today is, why do we lose that connection to love? Why do we think that we are not worthy of love? Why do we think that we need to get love from someplace else, not from inside of us? Why do we think that the source of love is someplace else? And it's interesting to observe how relationships are played out on this earth, because the first love that we have in this human life is through our mother, through the womb of our mother. We literally live inside of someone, and we are in a symbiotic relationship. So we cannot survive without her body. And then later on, we cannot survive without her. We cannot survive. And so as infants and babies, we are literally dependent on somebody loving us. I'm feeling to that. In order to survive as an infant, we are dependent on somebody loving us. And if we are not loved in a way that we deserve, or we don't perceive and receive that love in the vast, nourishing safety that love is, we tend to adjust, or we tend to cope with the world where there is no love for me. So we're trying to survive in a way that we conclude, we make a decision: I won't need, I will survive even though there will be no love for me. I'm feeling to that. And even though an infant, a baby, is in that moment feeling that they're not loved, that is actually also they're surviving. The way they're coping with that environment is self-love. That adjustment is love for self. I will adapt. Now, I'm not saying that that is not painful. And I'm not saying that that was okay. Or that maybe we don't carry trauma and feel severely deprived. But we're still here, aren't we? And remember the story about twin infants. Love keeps us alive. Love keeps us alive. From that space of adapting to that, because the way we were coping with that is that we realized that we are not worthy of love because we didn't receive it. So we end up going through life thinking we are not worthy of love. And that feeling of not being worthy of love can be shown in many different ways. I have shared some of my videos, how it looked like in my case, and how I felt like I was unworthy of having a healthy, safe relationship, or how I was being attracted to men who were literally making me feel unsafe. That feeling of being unworthy of love can be shown in how much money can we make. Can we really do a job that is meaningful for us, that is our purpose? Or are we just going through life fighting and living in scarcity? And that lack of love can be shown in many different ways. And what we are convincing ourselves is that we need to be worthy of love. And by being worthy of love, it means that there are certain aspects of us that are acceptable, that are lovable, and there are certain aspects of us that aren't. When we adapt it, that doesn't mean that we stop needing love. And love is, if we are not aware that we are love, and if we feel that we are not worthy of love, we cannot even receive a love from ourselves. We may feel at occasions love, but we can't receive love from ourselves because we feel that we are not worthy of love. This one love that is. Because we're so deprived of love, we usually tend to go into relationships that are maybe not healthy for us, that are maybe trauma bonds, that we have these highs and lows. Whoever is going through something like that, I know what it's like to be in a relationship, to be in that connection where at one moment you feel so loved, and another moment you feel fearful, like you're losing someone, like you're being rejected, abandoned. And these parts of us that are going into the trauma bonds are our inner children, so to say. These are not adult part of us. These are parts of us that desperately need healing. And what does that mean? It means that once we experienced something in our childhood, we recreated unconsciously in our adulthood. We are seeking balance and homeostasis. And feel into that. We're repeating this cycle of this kind of experiences. Also, it could be transgenerational, because unconsciously we want to heal, but we don't know how, and we are drawn into something that is familiar, and we tend to stay there for generations, literally for generations. So as I mentioned, parts of us felt like they are utterly unlovable, and we wanted to hide them. We are still trying to hide them and highlight the parts of us that are lovable, because we feel that love is coming outside of us. And what would it be like to have a relationship where we know that love is not outside of us, but I am love and you are love, and we find each other somewhere in between of that love? I really like what in my therapy training, when we had teaching about love, relationships, and sex, our teacher Sigmar, he said, after this teaching, you will never fall in love again, because we will learn how to stand in love and see how can we meet somebody from that place. And this really touched me, because when we fall in love, we feel like love is outside of us. It's there, it's on him, and I want to get him, I want to be with him, and oh my God, he's so amazing. And we have this, we're projecting ourselves literally into another person, and once we realize that that person is not that part of us that longs for love, but actually a normal human being, we maybe feel disappointed. But we're not going to go deep into relationships today. We're going to focus on love in general. So what is the essence of self-love? It's knowing that love just is. So we cannot adjust to love. We cannot control love. And yes, self-love, as we hear often, should be about loving everything that you are. Loving all parts of you, not just the ones that I like, but I love me as I am. I love my shortcomings. I even love my past experiences. Because when we love everything, it changes us, it heals us, it moves us, it keeps us alive. I wouldn't be able to talk about love if I don't mention the master of love, Yeshua, otherwise known as Jesus. Christ was saying how you should love your enemies. And feel into that. What does this really mean, to love your enemies? From this perspective, love is. Because if I say, I will love her and him, but I won't love anyone else, and by loving, it doesn't mean I will love you, I will be attached to you, or I will have a relationship or connection with you. It means that I will be love, and I will be with this state of love that goes to everyone, everything, including me. And feel into that. So my question today is, what does it truly mean to love my own enemies, but not the ones outside of me, but rather the ones inside of me, my shadows, my hidden parts. So here's something that you can do. You can literally list out all parts that you don't love about yourself and see what is maybe a childhood experience. What is the story around that? And then take a deep breath. Breathe in love and say, if this part was loved, what would change? What would the new story be? How would my life look like? Who would I be? And allow those parts to receive love. Another thing that I would like to mention in this class is about the split. The split that almost every human has, and that is a split between our human and our soul. And that is the ultimate, that is the core of trauma. Because when we experience trauma, a part of us is disintegrated. It's sort of like it's shattered. Love unifies and combines. That split between human and the soul is healed through love. And feel into that. What would that mean? How would love heal that split? And it's not just the split between human and the soul, it's the split between masculine and feminine, it's the split between heaven and earth. It's the very core of duality. And then love, as a part of dualistic world, is also mirroring that duality in a way. I love you, you love me, we're together, we love each other. But then what we're doing to each other, we are often hurting each other. We feel like we cannot live without each other. We are in a way abusing this love. In order to really find that love that first needs to go towards self, and then of course it will be expanded to other people, and then we can talk about relationships. I really don't want to speak about relationships before we really feel into love, because a lot of relationships are trauma bonds. And I'm not saying that there are not healthy marriages out there, and I know plenty of them. And what I know is that in healthy marriage, people are allowing each other to be free. They're not trying to control one another. They're not attached. They're allowing each other to be normal, to be human. Because whenever we seek perfection, whenever we have a type, we're basically trying to find ourselves. So as long as we're trying to find ourselves through other people, The only road is within. And then it's nice to maybe find somebody who walks the similar path to us. Hold each other's hand and be present in the safety of love. Now, here is something that I would like us to ask ourselves and to go through today in this masterclass. There are some questions that you can ask yourself, or you can feel into them right now. These questions are just so that you can get to know yourself with love. How does love feel like in my body? Not when I'm in love, how does it feel, or when somebody loves me, but love, the one love that we're talking about. How does it feel in my body? When I am loved, how does that feel in my body? How does love look like in my relationships when I'm loved? How does that look like in my relationships? How does love feel like in my work, in the work that I do in my life? How would love look like in my life? If I was really living love, how would it look like in my life? The one love. How would I feel and live if I knew that I was all the love in the world? I remember one workshop that I participated in years ago. It was like a movement dance type of thing. And then a facilitator asked us, we were moving, we were going through some traumas. And then she asked us, if you have received as children all the love in the world, how would you move? And everybody started jumping. And it's crazy because that workshop was lasting for days, and for days we were moving and everybody was tired and sore. But when she asked this, our bodies became vibrant and alive, and we started jumping and dancing. It was so, so beautiful. So if I had all love in the world, how would I show up for life? How would my life look like? And then you can ask yourself, can I receive love from myself? And how do I perceive that? How do I perceive that? And if not, why not? And really ponder these questions. Don't just answer them from your mind, but really feel into them and journal about them, and allow the sentences that come up and maybe emotions that are not underneath. Allow yourself to feel that. I will attach one guided experience to this class, I Am Love, where we are going into the feeling and the experience of loving oneself. And we have gone through some topics today. And before we part, allow yourself to really feel, how do you feel in your body right now? And what would it take for you in this moment to just open your heart and feel your heart as if it's gently held. It doesn't need to be anyone specific. It's you. Allow your heart to be gently held. Your human heart. the heart that has been through so much, more than one can take. And it's still here, it's still beating, it's still present. And allow that heart to let go of the tension, of the longing, of the need, of grief. Surrender that as it's being held. Know that your heart no longer needs to carry the weights of this world, and even from your human condition and your human experience. Allow your heart to be washed from betrayals, from heartaches, from abandonments. Allow your heart to let go and breathe, and know that your heart is held. And feel how in this moment there is a particle of light, golden light, that are shooting out of your beautiful heart that is being held. And allow that light to shoot out and to shine from your heart. From your new golden heart. And feel that golden light. Feel how this light is almost blinding. How strong, how beautiful, how everlasting. Shine that light from your heart. And allow yourself to be present with that. And breathe. And allow yourself to feel that this light is coming back to you. It's washing you and nourishing you, your entire body, and especially the parts of your body and your soul that need it the most, that maybe you were not even aware of. Allow those parts to be nourished, held, taken care of, and loved by your own light, by your own love. Receive that. Receive that. It's sort of like a music. I'm singing, but I'm listening at the same time. I'm giving and receiving simultaneously. It makes no difference. It's all my love. It's all me. And receive it with every part of your being. Know that it is there. It is there for you. Breathe it in. You're worthy of this. I am worthy of my own love. Receive that love. I'm worthy of my own love. It's who I am. It's who I have always been. And find a way to say thank you to yourself. To be grateful for this love that you are. Receive it and say thank you. Oftentimes when we are not able to receive, we are not able to be grateful. So if you can find a way to show yourself gratitude in this moment. And I thank you, and I'm grateful for everyone who joined us in this exploration and being here. And I'm grateful for your presence and your energy. Thank you so much.